How's it going, everybody? DB Sports back with another video. This one's going to be a little bit longer than most of my videos, and that's because we've got the next best thing. Blake is here joining me. He is over there on the left side of the screen, putting my setup to shame with his beautiful collection of game posters. Blake, how you doing today?
Oh, game posters.
Yeah.
The the football one fell off, but well, I'm moving out soon, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm doing well. How are you doing, David?
I'm doing great. So we got a little bit of a show lined up. We're gonna talk about. There's been a lot of Iowa State stuff over the past, 4 or 5 months, and we're gonna start with something that's been a little bit more recent. So for those of you that don't know, Iowa State doesn't have a baseball team. Hasn't had a baseball team for 2 decades. I think it's been like 22 years or something.
We're
Uh,
undefeated. We're
we,
undefeated, so it's fine.
we are undefeated in baseball over the last 22 years, so it is totally fine. But if you're not going to have an undefeated baseball team, you might as well get a baseball team that doesn't have a softball team. So West Virginia does not have a softball team, and we do not have a baseball team. So we've just kind of been super chill and super cool friends through the season. And it started with Leah from the Iowa State softball team. Tweeted out the Barstool Iowa State account was like, "Oh, we don't have anything until fall," and then the softball team was like, "Well, this is awkward because there's a softball team." So
So iconic.
The West Virginia Barstool account was like, "Hey, we don't have a softball team. We'll just be buddies," and then the rest is history. So included a big win over Oklahoma State down in Stillwater. It's fun times.
And tell them about how Iowa State softball came to West Virginia baseball in Okie State.
Yeah, yeah. So Iowa State was playing Oklahoma State softball at the same time that West Virginia baseball was playing Oklahoma State baseball. So the Iowa State softball team went to one of the games because it was after the Iowa State Oklahoma State softball game. They went to the West Virginia Oklahoma State baseball game, and they were just there to cheer on West Virginia and whatever. And I guess the Oklahoma State people didn't think that they were there for that because they weren't familiar with the situation or anything. So they flashed the softball score. Oklahoma State had beaten us that day. I think it was like it was close. It was like 3-2 or 4-2 or
Yeah,
something like that.
Okie State beat us by one,
Yeah.
but they were the team was welcomed with a roar of boos. I heard this
Yeah.
from Leah on a
Yeah,
podcast.
the Oklahoma State fans were not nice. From everything that I heard, Leah talked about it on the podcast with Aiden. That they were not very nice at all.
I try
During
to think, would I act like that if another visiting team like came and watched our game?
yeah,
Because like
I
I
don't I
I
don't know if
probably
I don't know if I'd get to the whole like shoulder checking and anything, but I would definitely
I
boo
probably
them.
I'd probably be focused on like what's actually going on like with our game.
I guess it probably depends on like how big of a rival it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was like the Texas men's basketball team showed up at like a
Oh,
football game or
yeah.
something, I'd boo the hell out of them. But like
Hmm.
if it was like West Virginia or something, a team that I feel like I get along with pretty well, I probably wouldn't be as agitated. Which is why I thought it was weird that it was Oklahoma State because I feel like normally Oklahoma State
Not
fans are pretty chill. But
yeah, we're not the biggest rivals for them.
yeah,
But speaking of softball, uh, I did go to the game last Friday. Yeah, so it was cold. It was like cold as hell.
right.
So I I went there by myself. None of the other guys came with me, but I made the sign. I said, or I tweeted out, empty game, but I had to come and support some West Virginia softball.
Right.
Now Matt actually gave me the idea for the sign, but Juicy Country Wiggle Roads ignored that. But those are the guys. But Juicy Country Wiggle Roads by John Redfood Denver, featuring
Nice.
Leah Nelson.
I love it.
That post is my most liked picture on Twitter.
As it should be. As it should be.
West Virginia Twitter just caught me off guard there.
Yeah.
I'm like, so loving, so welcoming.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that so much.
We love the West Virginia boys and girls.
Mhm.
So, keep it up. Iowa State softball, West Virginia baseball. West Virginia baseball's got a hell of a team this year. They are rolling.
Dude.
So, good to see the boys doing well. Good to see the tag team of the century getting some love.
While we're recording, Iowa State plays Iowa for softball today.
Yes.
So I will tune into that. I don't think I'll make the trip to the Forbidden City today, but I will tune in for that.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of the Forbidden City, there were some rumors that there were some Iowa State women's basketball players that might go to Iowa, but they didn't. They did leave the program though. So first up, we got Lexi Donarski. Arguably the best recruit. Is it even arguably the best recruit? I mean, Blake showing his displeasure.
Don't talk to me.
I mean, that hurts, right? Because we played North Carolina and lost to them in the early season tournament this year.
Yeah.
And, if you can't beat them, join them, I guess. I got nothing for this one.
But with Lexi, I was like very relieved to see Lexi go to North Carolina, honestly. But I did hear from one of the women's basketball managers that she wasn't going to Texas. She wasn't going to Iowa. I'm like, those are probably the big two that I'm like, oh,
right. Yeah.
But if it was anywhere outside the Big 12, I would have been fine.
Right.
But so Lexi chose North Carolina. That was that.
Yeah.
I did ask that women's basketball manager to get Lexi to sign my program. She did. It was so big. Like she was so open to doing it. Like she was so nice about it. I'm like, I love that memento. She's my favorite.
Nice. Well, it sucks that she's not going to be in Cardinal and Gold next year, but I feel like with Lexi, and we'll get to Danae here in a second, but I feel like it's a lot more just like there's a little bit more love between the players. Like it wasn't a Tyrese Hunter situation. It wasn't it wasn't any of that. So
borderline.
Yeah. Well, okay. But the one that's maybe borderline here, not necessarily Lexi to North Carolina, but Danae Fritz to Baylor. That hurts.
Mm-hmm.
That hurts a lot.
That definitely riled up our group chat just yesterday.
Yeah.
So all year, at least what I've seen, Cody's been putting up the sign called Fritz Blitz.
Yep.
And just yesterday, he said Fritz Blitz equals the McDonald's ice cream machine.
Oh no!
I'm like, where he comes up with that just amazes me.
Oh no! Yeah, I don't know. It hurts, because we're gonna see her twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
With Baylor, maybe 3 times a year, like we did this year when we played Baylor in the women's tournament. But yeah, I mean that whenever you lose somebody and they stay in conference, it just feels like it hurts a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's the changes happen, and they're just kind of inevitable. Especially, I don't know if either of these were NIL based at all. I don't know how much that affects particularly women's basketball, or if we'll get to a point where it'll affect it a little bit more. But yeah, it feels like you're just in a rut right now of just everybody's going everywhere, everyone's trying new things, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I guess we'll see about Lexi and Danae how those work out. So, yeah, I don't know. Not much to say on today. It just hurts.
Matt was mentioning this like for the past month. That really hits you hard. What happened to Loyal Forever True?
Yeah. Yeah, it's painful. It's definitely painful.
Now, the exceptions are Maggie Vick, which Matt was saying that the cards didn't really play in her table with new recruits coming in,
Right.
and she was out for her injuries.
Right.
So like Maggie Vick like didn't really have the cards in her favor. Morgan, Maggie, EM, those seniors, you don't really expect them to stay for a fifth year, like because like
Right.
you understand they want to go to grad school. Like sure,
Right.
they they did what was asked of them. By all means, hope it all goes well.
Yeah.
Today
Do
and Lexi.
yeah. It hurts. It hurts. Do we know where Maggie Vick is going?
Maggie Vick has not announced it yet.
Okay. Because I know Maggie McGraw. She's at Montana now.
Yes, Maggie is in Montana.
Yep. And then Morgan Kane is
In the same place as Maddie Frederick.
yes. Yes. So a little bit of a reuniting there. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So moving over to the men's side, I guess
Eli King.
yeah, yeah, Eli King is transferring, but I guess the bigger one here, there was that whole Caleb Grill situation where I'll be honest, I don't know any of the details. I don't know any of the intricacies of that, but
It's
there's
one of those things where I don't know what to believe.
yeah, there was clearly there was something up, whether that was Caleb or the coaches or the decisions around playing time or what. I have absolutely no idea. That's not really my business to speak on. But we did find out in the last week here that Caleb Grill's going to Missouri,
Mm-hmm.
Mizzou. So I don't think we play them next year. But
The non-con schedule, like the projected non-con schedule, I doubt we're going to play them.
yeah, whatever the I don't know if it's the Big 12 SEC Challenge or whatever it is. We're playing on the road. That's all I know. I don't think we played on the road like 8 of the 12 or whatever, something like just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, Caleb's going to Missouri again. Another situation like Lexi, they beat us and then we had a player go there. So I don't know. This one again, kind of similarly to the. Like the Maggie Espinmiller McGraw, the kind of senior thing. Caleb's just been all over the place because he started here and then he went to UNLV and then he came back and now he's going to Missouri. So it's just like, dude's been everywhere. Like, I don't know. Just, I wish him the best. I hope he gets. I hope he's good there.
Mm.
I hope Mizzou's bad, but I hope he's good there.
Yeah.
That's
You just hope he carries the team.
yeah. Let's I'm comfortable saying that for all three of them. I know Danae at Baylor it hurts, but as long Baylor loses every game, but Danae scores 35 every game. Let's roll. But fear not, for the cavalry is arriving. Both TJ Otzelberger and Bill Fennelly have incredible classes coming in. Taking a look here at the men's side. The number 10 overall, according to 24/7, and the number 8 composite rank. What a star-studded group to bring in. I mean, Omaha, Milan, Jelani, Caden. I mean, those are 4 guys that are gonna see the floor a lot.
Just think about it. Ward and Omaha.
Who's scoring against that? I don't know. Too much length, too much athleticism. Yeah, that's crazy. And then I mean, it didn't seem like there was that big of transfer news, but I mean, you look at Curtis Jones. That's a really nice pickup. The Buffalo point guard or shooting guard, excuse me. And then Keyshawn Gilbert coming over from UNLV. And then I think the biggest one of the 3, Jackson Pavletsky from Wofford. I think that kid can shoot. So hopefully that translates when he comes here.
Uh, with the walk on from Milwaukee, I think.
Yeah.
I kind of think, like, I don't think, but I think I know. But I feel like he's probably going to get a lot more playing time than Conrad, or as I like to call Con Chad CEO Holly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know too much about the preferred walk on.
Let me see.
I know.
I did know Cade Kelderman.
Yeah,
I think that's how you say his name.
I think
But
that's right.
I think he was offered the biggest D2 school in the nation. Turned that down, Iowa State.
I like it.
Like that is like dedication.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's quite the statement to make. I mean, you got a chance, top D2 school. They're offering you. They definitely want you to come. And you say, "Nah, I'll be a preferred walk-on at Iowa State." Like that's something.
Very something.
And then to replace the losses on the women's side, Bill Fennelly, he hit the recruiting trail hard this year. Addie Brown, who is just going to be unstoppable on the low block. Or not Addie Brown, sorry. Audie Crooks. Going to be absolutely unstoppable on the low block. Addie Brown from Derby, Kansas. I think she was like one of the top players in Kansas. Kelsey Jones, obviously the younger sister of Ashley Jones and Aubrey Jones. And then Ariana Jackson from Des Moines. I think she played at. Oh, I'm trying to remember which school she played at. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then Jalen Bristow was like Miss Basketball in Texas this year. So that's quite the class to be bringing in. As well
Also,
as there was
Hannah.
two big transfers.
Mm-hmm.
In what's her name? Isbell. Oh shoot, I can't remember what her name is.
But I do know Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah Bellinger, I think is how you say her last name. Absolute sniper.
Mm-hmm.
Shot like 47% from three last year and made 99. So that's a pretty big sample size to be shooting 47%. So yeah, I'm definitely Isnell. Isnell Nadabu, who's from can't remember where
was she kind of our Stephanie Suarez of this year?
Yeah,
of this coming year.
She's out of the Big Sky.
She came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like whenever she was announced.
Yeah.
I was like, who is this? How much?
She's 6'5".
She's a Suarez.
6'5" center. Should be, I don't know how they'll rotate the starting lineup. I don't know if Audie will start right away, or if they'll kind of figure that out through the early practices and whatnot. But it's hard to be like you lose Stephanie Suarez, you lose Ashley Jones, you lose Lexi Donarski, you lose Danae Fritz, you lose some of those role players and Maggie Espinmiller McGraw and that, but. You look at the class that's coming in, and you look at the transfers that are coming in. I think there's a legitimate reason to be excited. Maybe that's just me wanting to be positive, but
I just lost hope, like with the transfer portal, and then after seeing these recruits and then the incoming class, I was just like,
yeah, like, let's
go.
Let
the coaches cook.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that's most of what we wanted to touch on for these. So now I know Blake has like a list of like 45 things for the best
45.
for the best Iowa State stuff of the last year.
I mean, it could be 45.
It could be. We could be here all day. But I guess I wanted to throw, because this isn't really like specifically an Iowa State thing. Maybe you could call it that. But I just wanted to throw out there real quick before we get started with that. The Iowa State players in the pros right now. I mean, there are guys and gals to cheer for everywhere. You got Ashley and Stephanie just got drafted by the same team in the WNBA. They're going to Dallas together. You got Brock Purdy went to the NFC Championship game. You got Alan Lazard is getting good money to go to the Jets. Breece Hall was like the runaway rookie of the year before he got hurt. David Montgomery's moving. He's going to Detroit now. You got Tyrese Halliburton he was an all-star this year in the NBA. I mean, it's a great time to be an Iowa State fan, both collegiately and professionally. So, just huge shout out to all those guys and gals.
Major shout out.
Just awesome. Just awesome to see that. Hakeem Butler, even the St. Louis Battlehawks. I mean, he is going.
How can we forget about that?
He is going off right now in the XFL. Just awesome. Just awesome. So I'll let Blake take the floor here. I will just be searching up tweets as he rattles stuff off, and I'll maybe throw some stuff in there if I think there's anything that needs mentioning. So Blake, go ahead, take it away. What you got to kick off the best of the year?
What do I got? Well, he said he kind of will talk to me about like moments this year that were just like the most memorable from this year, because I've been to a lot. I've seen a lot. I was gonna do a little chronological order, but I'll kind of put it into different sections. But I could start off with Cyhawk football. Now I can just remember how each part of that day went for me, but I would just be like one of the big ones, just like yelling at the TV. I was at my friend Kale's. He's an RA at Joffrey. I don't know if any students are here, but one of the lounge areas in Joffrey, and I just like went off that entire game. And once we all saw the final field goal kick and it missed, we were just like all losing our stuff, just like finally.
Yeah.
And then later on, I saw on Twitter that John Walters recording what he did for the radio. That clip of him was put on like the actual football live program.
Yeah.
That was a sight to see too.
Yeah. I don't know if I can play the call due to copyright stuff, but I'll definitely leave a link to that because there's definitely tweets about it.
Yeah, definitely.
I will see if I can find a link to that because that was just like he just exploded. I mean, been waiting so damn long. So damn long. So damn long to beat Iowa, and just like the game that it was, like that's a game that Iowa wins every time. Mm-hmm. Low scoring in the rain and the wind, and just like no offense. The special teams, was the special teams, and like that's just a game that Iowa beats us every time. So to finally, I know the season as a whole didn't turn out to be what anybody really wanted it to be. Struggling in Big 12 the way that we did. But, like, just to get over that hump with Matt Campbell, just to get over that hump in Iowa City and in the game that it was definitely one of the top moments to me.
Other than football in the same season of volleyball, Matt Menson has done something to me that I will always cherish. He has gotten me into volleyball that high school could have never done to me because I've spent a lot of time recording volleyball in high school. But the big one that I went to with Matt to start off was the Baylor volleyball game. ESPN2 was there to stream that. I also got on ESPN2 pretending to be a band director because yeah, band.
Yeah, band.
Uh, and Matt brought a sign there. That was like the first time he brought a sign to a game. No, uh, last year he did bring a sign. He started bringing signs again this year. That sign did get some attention, and we both got on ESPN2. That was amazing to rewatch and be able to have that clip. But we beat them. We beat number 13 in the country. We kind of had a freaking party in the student section when we won because everyone got mugs and like all the freshmen in the front were like
Yeah.
just like pretending to chug.
Yep.
But yeah. Later on, Texas.
You already knew I was pulling it up. What a match this was.
That was a match, and I was also first in line to that game too. And that was the first time I brought a sign to a game. And you know, I got some attention from like people around the student section because like I kind of kept that one like family friendly.
Yeah.
Kids were laughing, parents were laughing, Hilton people were laughing, grandparents were laughing, old people were laughing, players were laughing, and coaches were laughing.
Yeah.
So a little bit for everyone.
A little bit. A little bit of context for this. This was undefeated #1 Texas. Came to Hilton, and we said no. Reverse sweep.
It wasn't a reverse sweep.
Yeah. Or no, we won round 2 or set 2.
Yes.
But yeah, winning those last 2 sets after being down 2-1.
Once we got to the end of set 4, I was in my mind, are we going to do this?
Yeah.
Are we going to do this? And I'm just proud to be their only loss of the season.
Yeah. Cause
so much, in fact, that at the end of the season, I posted something. The key to beating Texas volleyball is to have us idiots in the room, like me, Matt Menson, Kyle, all those guys.
Right.
So that got the word out so much that Zoe Fleck on the volleyball team blocked me.
Next year, hashtag free Blake.
Next year, I'm bringing the sign that says, "Zoe, unblock me, you coward."
Yeah, hashtag free Blake.
Free.
Zoe, if you see this, free Blake. No, yeah, that's to just be the team that made you not perfect on the season.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. That's just so cool. So, you know, also beating Texas in anything is always cool. So,
oh, for sure.
Doesn't matter if they're #1 or if they're winless. It's always cool. Always cool to beat Texas.
Now, about a month later, I got to tell you about the UNI game with women's basketball. That was a game that I was planning for about a month. I was talking to the guys. I was like, hey, let's get Kale in this. Let's get Matt in this. I didn't know Logan, Cody, and the others at the time, but I was like, let's get these guys in. I got us front row seats. I didn't get courtside, but I got front row seats, and we were kind of close to the student section. We're just gonna be the biggest idiots in the cloud, and just go ballistic every time something happens,
right,
like in our favor. We did free throw distractions for every one of their shots. We even got UNI to airball a free throw.
There you go.
Matt Menson cannot shut up about that, but we got it to happen. But towards the end, it was looking like UNI was going to catch up to us and beat us.
Right.
But at the end of it, it was just a trip well worth going to. I have friends at UNI. So I got to see them too. We also went to Raising Cane's because Ames doesn't have a Raising Cane's.
Hashtag bring Raising Cane's to Ames.
They're working on it, but we'll wait. It was just a fun night
that was an intense game. I remember watching that one. We just absolutely smoked them in the first half. It just wasn't even close. And then It seems like every time we just got to make it close. You know, cardiac clones every time. Cardiac clones every time, and ended up pulling out the win. Always good to beat. Always good to beat you and I, especially at their place.
You know, and there's a lot of Iowa State people around us.
Yeah.
It's like a lot. Like half of McLeod was Iowa State people.
Oh, that's awesome. Love to hear that. Love to hear that.
I might as well. Well, I guess I could do this too. Oklahoma with coming to Ames. Oklahoma wins basketball. I just like to point out that Matt brought the sign that said, or Ashley and Kelsey are better, and that got the attention of the Jones family. Jones family came up to Matt and then said, "We like the sign."
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Kelsey was there too, so she saw that too.
That's awesome.
I could skip ahead to Big 12 championship, like Big 12 tournament, and all women's basketball. So that entire tournament, when we were playing Baylor, I would turn on the game, and then the refs would make a terrible call, and then I just rage quit after that. I was like,
yeah.
I just turned off my phone because I was already watching another game on TV. I was like, turn off my phone.
Yep.
I'm like, I can't. Somehow we won that game. So I was like, heck yeah. Over to Oklahoma. I was watching that in my parents' basement. That's not where I live, by the way. So like I'm just like yelling the entire game. My parents could hear me. This is during spring break, by the way.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh my, it's just a game. I'm like, no, it's not.
No,
won that one somehow.
Definitely not.
Aubrey, of course, couldn't show up against Ashley. So that's another Oklahoma L.
Can't spell Oklahoma without L.
And then championship comes around. You know what I'm doing? Yelling at the TV.
Oh yeah. Are you even really watching the game if you're not yelling at the TV? Like,
I mean, for real. And I was by myself.
Right.
That's when we won. I got an email from the bookstore, like, oh, Big 12 championship shirts. I'm like instantly when we won, I was like, that's like on point right there.
Yeah.
But I was like I played Juicy Wiggle in front of my family.
Oh yeah. No, that was a really fun. I remember so for the first two games, I had the recaps for them for Wide Rat Natty Light, and I remember writing them, and I was like, because we discussed as a group like who's gonna be available, who can write the recaps, and I told Aiden, I was just like, yeah, I got the first two, and I was like, if we make the championship game, I'm gonna be in Des Moines, playing Dungeons and Dragons with some friends of mine, so if we make the championship game, I don't know if I'll be able to get the recap. So, I remember we were sitting at the table playing Dungeons and Dragons, and the TV was behind me, so I was just sitting like this the whole time. We were there for like 3 hours. I just wasn't even paying attention to Dungeons and Dragons. I was just staring at the TV the whole time. So
I can't see your video. Were you like this?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just staring back at the TV like the whole time. And I definitely played Juicy Wiggle while we were playing D&D at the end. I was just like, I just slammed my phone on the table. I was like, dun, 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 dun. Just, I mean, that was so awesome. I mean, because first time in what, 21 years, 2001, I think was the last time, or 2002 was the last time we won the Big 12 women's tournament. So, you know, and getting Ashley to 3,000 that weekend.
So good.
That was a perfect weekend, at least on the women's side. Men's side got Baylor, but you know, unfortunately. So,
speaking of the men's side, are we ready for this?
Are we?
All right. are we ready for this? The men's side of how dedicated the guys are to like staying in line in the freezing cold. It's like I did not see this coming, that I would be friends with people who would stay in line
Yep.
like before I came to Iowa State. Like I did not see that coming from a mile away. So I'm going to start off with North Carolina. I was at a family Thanksgiving that day. My 8-year-old cousin was wanting Iowa State to lose because he's kind of an Iowa guy.
Boo.
But my whole family was watching. I think it was Iowa versus Nebraska football. But I was in the other room watching Iowa State. My cousin's in there. Is like, Iowa State's gonna lose. I'm like, see. and then when Iowa State secured the victory, I just yelled as loud as I can from my entire Thanksgiving. I'm like, and then I played Juicy Wiggle.
Yep, obviously.
And then I was kind of like in the face of my cousin. I was like, suck it. Not really, but I was nice. I was nice about it. I wasn't like that too much, but it was still so fun.
Oh yeah.
So before the Texas game, I worked with Cyclones TV, obviously. So I came to my boss or my supervisor. So I explicitly asked him, it's like, hey, can I run the camera for the Texas men's basketball game? And then he was kind of hesitant at first because he was wanting me to stay dialed in and like focus on what I had to do. Which
right.
Like, yeah. What I wanted was to be out with everyone to be able to experience like a sold out Hilton Coliseum.
Right.
Especially Texas and Tyrese Hunter. So I could safely say that was one of the best days of my life.
Yeah.
Just how everything lined up that game. I was printing the guys out fake money and give it to them in the line. Like they were standing out in line like all day.
Yeah.
Whenever I got done setting up, Tyrese Hunter came out when the students weren't in yet. He death stared me as I was setting up. Why is he after me? I'm just a camera guy.
Yeah.
And I also talked to John Walters that day. And I stopped as like the students were getting into Hilton. Tyrese Hunter wasn't out at the time, so I came back up to the camera. So I was just waiting.
Right.
Once Tyrese entered the stadium, I immediately hit record, and that video is on my Instagram. The entire student section just let out a roar. It was one of the greatest sights I've ever seen. And then everything else that happened in that game, just lined up so perfectly. I cannot express how much I adore that day.
I'm trying. Yeah, there's a tweet. I didn't go to that game, unfortunately, but I did stream for it. So I was streaming for the game, and then after the game I spliced together like my call with the actual like game, and then I tweeted John Walters, and I was like, hey, can I get a rating? And he gave me an A+. So that was a great night for me too. That was, man, shout out John Walters. That guy he's the Godfather. The Godfather.
I'm gonna be spending this weekend with him, working with softball, and
awesome.
And I get 1 credit out of it.
Nice,
so,
nice.
2 days with John Walters. Let's go.
Nice. Yeah, no, that was awesome. I remember tweeting that out, and I was like, he's not gonna respond, but like I'll tweet it at him anyway. And then I got the notification. I was like, wait, he actually replied to me. Like, it's like, dang.
Yeah.
For once my loud mouth on Twitter didn't get me in trouble, and he actually actually responded to it. No, that
Well,
was awesome.
now what got me about Kansas State was probably the size of the student section and how much of an impact we made on that,
Yeah,
and then like the outcome of that game too. It's like that was kind of the big thing about Kansas State too.
right.
Uh, Kansas, the game against Kansas was also an interesting one. So uh, that week we had like freezing temperatures like all week, like sub zero freezing temperatures,
Yep.
and people still showed up in the line for days.
Yep.
So Kyle wanted to set up his tent. Now what he had was like his heater, so it was all good. Now what I had to do the day before the game, I had to hold a spot in them for like about an hour until Matt showed up because Kyle had to go to class. So like I just held down the fort. There was a few other guys in there, and I met with Matt. Said like, hey, you're fine. He's like, yeah, we're fine. So I headed out, and then they came back and saw them that same night. Now, before I get to this next part, uh, I think the ISU police department said like, hey, you could park your cars uh, in front of where you guys are going to be at. It's like so just in case you get frostbite, just in case it gets too cold, get in the cars, get warmed up.
Right.
So common ISU police department dub. So when I came back that night, uh, I was welcomed with steaks and mashed potatoes. The guys, the guys in the tent, Matt and Kyle, there were girls that offered them steaks, 24 pack of you know what, McDonald's breakfast in the morning, those steaks, I probably already mentioned those, and $100 cash. If those girls could stand behind them in the line before the game,
Oh,
they did not
man.
hesitate.
Oh no, of course not.
They did not hesitate. So Matt got steak, Kyle got steak. I came in there and I was welcome a steak. I'm like, you would be idiots to say no to this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I opened it up. I'm like, this is amazing. So then I like pick it up with my bare hands because I didn't have any forks. So I was like, if I die, you know why.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I die eating steak? So good.
Yeah. No, that
Next
was
morning rolls. Next morning rolls around. Sorry to interrupt you.
no, you're
Next
good.
morning rolls around. I had to come there early in the morning to pick up the stuff because I did have to work this morning or that morning. So I was there to pick up stuff. They got their breakfast as promised, and we just have ourselves a time.
Yeah, I was just pulling up the. I think you tweeted that morning or that night. You posted a picture of you like sitting in the tent with 0 degrees, like the
Mm-hmm.
0 degree filter on. So I was pulling that tweet up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that the dedication of Iowa State fans, especially for like Kansas or Texas or like Kansas State, like it doesn't matter. 0 degrees, -10 degrees, 30 degrees, whatever. Like they're gonna be outside and they're gonna be waiting out there a long time, to get the seats that they want.
I also think I do remember ISU athletics, either that or it was the ISU police department advising the students to, hey, don't stay in line overnight
Yeah.
because of these wind chills. I'm like, I think you're gonna phase Matt Menson.
Yeah. You got
You
another
think
thing
you're gonna phase
coming.
him? Oh my! But that was a hell of a time.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a downward slope from the season,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But one
Yeah,
thing
that's
to
just how it
one
goes.
thing one thing to kind of make it better. March Madness in Des Moines.
Oh
Me
yeah.
and Matt, Men- me and Matt
Yep.
Menson came down there over spring break. I was able to pick up tickets for dirt cheap.
Oh yeah.
Like the most I had to spend was like $20. Like a tickets I was expecting in Des Moines were like to kind of go through the roof. But go on StubHub. Matt went on StubHub too. We picked up tickets for dirt cheap. I was able to get one section. Matt got a different section. We just ended up sitting next to each other. Nobody kicked me out. Nobody claimed their spot with me. Matt sat where he was supposed to, and we just sat for the two games. It was an amazing time.
Yeah.
Now, with Texas and Colgate, people who I don't even think are even Iowa State fans to begin with. I know it's the Des Moines atmosphere. There's gonna be a hell of a ton of Iowa State fans there. They booed Tyrese that game, and people were all cheering for Colgate.
Yep.
They're like Colgate.
Yep.
And then Texas coach had to give out that statement.
Yep.
Like, dude, let us do what we want.
Yeah. So with that whole thing, right? He was like, oh, like, I wouldn't let my, if our student section was doing that, if our fans were doing that, I'd turn around and tell them, hey, stop it. It's like, was he there when Caleb Grill was hurt
Nope.
and out and didn't play against Texas? And that was all the Texas fans, like, talked about on Twitter, were yelling in the arena. Like, no, you didn't do anything. Like, what do you mean? No, nope. Don't give me that. Don't give me that, Rodney. Just let the fans be the fans. Let the players be the players. Like, Tyrese Hunter wants to talk his stuff on Twitter and, do whatever. Like, that's fine. But just let the fans be the fans then. I don't know.
He knew he was going to piss off the fan base.
Yeah. Whatever. They lost to Miami anyway. Dude transferred to Texas just to lose to the same team.
And I finally have another James video. Yeah. What happened?
Yeah.
Out was Miami on down.
Yep. Oh man. How many? What's your list looking like? How many more you got on there?
I'm kind of towards the end right now. Unless I could go back to softball. Unless I can go back to softball because the first softball game that I went to this season was the one sign that I made for Leah, and she had just cut her leg open twice for sliding, so then I made the sign Leah's legs of steel.
Yep.
So finally got to talk to her that game, but that was around when I didn't know that Iowa State and West Virginia were gonna be best buddies.
Yeah. A lot of great memories this year. The seasons didn't end, necessarily how we wanted them to. But it's it's not the destination, it's the journey, it's the friends you made along the way.
Dude. It's like I couldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I would not trade being an Iowa State fan for anything. Like this, with how cool all the fans are. I mean, there's obviously exceptions with every fan base, but like with the fan base and all the people and the coaches and the players are all just it's one of a kind. It's a one of a kind place, and it's awesome.
Now, I have in store for next year. So how we beat a team and we kind of troll their Twitter.
Yeah.
We troll the official team's Twitter.
Yeah.
Think about what I want people to see whenever I do that. little hint for next year. You'll see where I'm going with this.
All right.
So I kind of thought I'd save that till the end for the people watching. So.
Yeah. Get a little sneak peek for the people that stuck through this 50-minute episode. Jeez. Well, it's not quite 50 minutes. There'll be a little bit edited here and there, but yeah. Well, thank you, Blake, for joining me. It's been an awesome show. I think
And a hell of a ride this year.
it's been fun. We still got softball closing out the season here.
Mm-hmm.
So be sure, like we said earlier when we started mentioning this, Cyhawk game today. Well, probably not today when this video goes up, but Cyhawk game today, Wednesday. We'll be sure to tweet out about it, so make sure you're paying attention. But yeah, I'll leave Blake. Blake's over here. I'm pointing the wrong direction.
Okay.
I'll leave Blake's
Dude,
Instagram and Twitter and everything down below, so be sure to give him a follow.
Please do.
And
Dude, I'm so glad we got in touch this year.
yeah,
Like,
no,
for
it's
real.
it's been awesome. Been awesome. We just gotta get Big JW on here next time. Get John Walters in here, but yeah, Blake.
JW.
Blake, like I said, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been awesome. We've had a fun year. It's been a fun 2022 into 2023. Will McDonald and Anthony Johnson and all those guys, NFL draft coming up here. I know there's some talk that Will could be a first rounder. I certainly think he should be, but, maybe that's the Cardinal and gold glasses talking. But should be a good weekend for Iowa State athletes going pro yet again. So a lot of stuff to look forward to. A lot of stuff has happened. It's been fun. Blake, any final words for us?
No words. Till next year.
Yeah.
Like really. Really.
So
I'm beyond excited what next year has.
yeah. So this has been DB Sports. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out and fuck the Hawks.